Hello ladies and gentlemen, Zombie Bonbons here, and today I'm bringing you guys a weapon guide for the SC2010. The SC2010 is a fictitious weapon based on the SC2005 assault rifle, which is a more futuristic variant of the FNFAL. The SC2010 is unlocked at level 1. As soon as you create a soldier, it will be available for your use. But does anyone really care about the history of this weapon or the attributes of this weapon? No. We're gamers. We want to know what attachment to use on it and what makes this weapon great in this game. Well, essentially this gun is the M4A1 from Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 with a new skin and a new name. Since Infinity Ward is a pretty lazy developer, they decided to just simply take a weapon from previous games. Since it ain't broke, don't fix it. However, in all seriousness, this weapon does reflect a new philosophy that Infinity Ward has, which is every weapon should have at least one attribute about it that sets it apart from everything else, and it's definitely the case with this weapon. There is one perk in this game that will make this weapon as useful as it can be, which is Sleight of Hand. With Sleight of Hand, as you can see in this clip, it is really extremely easy to reload cancel with this weapon, making reloading a much faster affair than with any other weapon in the game. In the following clips you can see the 3, 4, and 5 shot ranges of the SC2010 with both the muzzle brake and the silencer respectively. The reason that I didn't do any tests without a muzzle brake or a silencer is because it's highly recommended to use one of the 2 barrel attachments on this weapon. Simply put, this weapon is very good with a silencer, and if you go on silence, it is highly recommended to use a muzzle brake. Without either of those attachments, this weapon simply isn't competitive enough. So the format that seemed to make most sense for this weapon guide was to create a binary system. One kit that focuses on the strengths of the weapon, and another kit that focuses on its weaknesses. So with that said, let's take a look at our strength build. So the very first thing you might notice is there's no secondary, no lethal, and no tactical, and I'll get into that in a second. But first of all, the 2 attachments we're using is silencer and VMR sight. Now the silencer is extremely effective on this weapon because it was sort of designed to be effective with its medium to high rate of fire and good accuracy, that it's very effective even at its minimum damage. So you'll be able to down people fairly quickly even at high distances with the 5-shot kill due to this weapon's accuracy. The next attachment that we're using on this weapon is the VMR sight. Now the VMR sight is sort of a must-have for this gun, especially if you're trying to build on its strength, because the VMR sight allows it to sort of specialize in medium and long range engagements, and with the flip up and flip down sights of being able to change between 1x zoom and 4x zoom gives this weapon a great competitive edge. Now the reason we're not using a secondary lethal or tactical is because this weapon is not a specialized weapon. It is not created for close quarters or long range engagements. It is sort of a jack of all trades weapon, so therefore we want to sort of make up for that handicap with perks. And since this weapon is good with its minimum damage, there's no reason to use a secondary with it. So our very first perk that we're using is Sleight of Hand. And if you saw the clip before, you see how incredibly useful Sleight of Hand is on this weapon. Being able to reload cancel makes this weapon the fastest reloading weapon on the entire game. With the 0.7 second reload, if you know how to reload cancel, it is just a huge advantage over every other player. Now Quick Draw is our next perk, and the reason we're using that is because it is just one of the most effective perks in this game. It's well worth the 3 points that it takes, because it's such a huge advantage to sort of shave off 150 milliseconds off of that 300 millisecond aim down sight time, that it will get you kills and save you a lot of times in gunfights. So the next perk we're using is Dead Silence, and Dead Silence is especially important for a stealth build such as this one, because with the silencer and Dead Silence, you will not show up on the minimap while shooting, and people won't be able to hear your acoustic signature, so you'll be concealed from your enemies in most ways that matter. Sitrep is a very effective perk for 2 points. That is our next perk selection, because enemy equipment, especially IEDs, are very prevalent in this game. And last but not least, our final perk is Amplify, and the reason we're using Amplify is because it's very important to maintain awareness of enemy locations, even if they don't know where you are. So now that we've discussed the build that focuses on this weapon's strengths, let's look at our build that kind of tries to mitigate its weaknesses. So the very first attachment on this gun is grip, and grip allows you to maintain automatic fire over a longer distance and still maintain some semblance of accuracy. Muzzle brake is very useful on this weapon since it elongates both its 3 and 4 shot kill range to a point where it becomes quite an effective medium to long range weapon. Now once again, this kit has no secondary lethal or tactical because I've stated before, this weapon isn't specialized and it's very effective at killing people, so there's no need for a lethal or tactical. And with that said, our perks are quick draw, which is effective on any weapon, and it's still sort of a necessity with this gun. Dead silence, which once again masks your acoustic signature and kind of hides you from enemies using headsets. Focus is very useful in this weapon if you're trying to fill in sort of a medium to long range role, because it negates any flinch that you might have. And without that extra kick that flinch adds when you get shot, it's very, very easy to get the kill even if someone else got the first shot on you. Our next perk that we're using is fully loaded, and fully loaded is useful on this gun because you run out of ammo very, very quickly. And our last perk is tack resistance, which is, it's important also for maintaining accuracy and not dying by tacticals. So those are our two builds. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please rate and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll be coming up with the next weapon guide in 2 or 3 days. Thank you for watching, and dramatic death.